Welcome to DG Podcast. I'm your host, Stealthy. Joining me, co-host Flyinghoe, and returning once again, always in to fill the shoes, is Reekmeister. Good to have you guys on
My
here. How are you
man,
guys
what up,
doing?
Luke? What's up, guys? Pretty
Yo,
good,
yo.
Luke. How's it going, brother? Everything good, baby?
Yeah, definitely good. They're joining me today to talk about GTA, but before we talk about the whole GTA franchise, I wanted to dive into Bethesda and how it was bought out by Microsoft. And I'll start with Zerikmeister because I know you're a huge Xbox fan and that's your main console. What did this mean to you when you heard that Microsoft bought Bethesda?
Well, I will tell you this. It's a little scary at this point. It's like kind of a crucial decision. If I'm going to buy out Bethesda, I mean, it's a big part of gaming. All the Fallout games, Oblivion, Skyrim, all that stuff kind of falls under that category. I will tell you, it does sound a little concerning from like a company decision, what they've done. But I mean, I will tell you this: Xbox really needs this right now. Xbox seems there's almost no exclusive. I wasn't really impressed by the Halo trailer, so I don't know. As far as it goes, I'm kind of worried about how where the company's going and which direction they're gonna take it. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
We're just waiting to see any
definitely.
kind of news dropping or any new releases. They really haven't said much. Honestly, everybody's just staying quiet about everything that's happened. So it is that's the only part that's kind of concerned me.
Yeah, but you nailed it. Microsoft does need this. And do you think the new Sky or not new Skyrim, the new Elder Scrolls game is going to be exclusive to Microsoft, to the Xbox
Oh,
platform while releasing on PC? Like it won't
yeah, I
go to
can't see
Sony,
how
right?
that'll help them. I'm sorry. What was that?
You
What was the
don't
last
think it'll
part?
go to the PlayStation platform, correct?
Uh, I will tell you this: PlayStation is looking a little better as far as releases and what they got planned. I've seen the new Ratchet and Clank, which shows you that PlayStation is really stuck to the roots. But Xbox, I will tell you, is I don't know, it's kind of uncharted territory. I can't say they might have something up their sleeve, but from what I've seen so far, I don't see how a Bethesda game, wouldn't help PlayStation. But as far as I can see, if it's all their exclusives are going to be strictly on Xbox, it could be a problem. I mean, who knows?
Okay, so it's unsure at this point. I would agree with you because maybe they were working on the new Elder Scrolls and they might still release it on PlayStation, or
Yeah,
Microsoft might restrict it. If it does come out to PlayStation, I think future titles in the Elder Scrolls series will not make it there. What's your take, Flying Ho?
Well, I agree with you. I think that all these games that are already announced are coming to PlayStation, PC, and Xbox all together. I just think future releases aren't. I think they're going to be strictly Xbox in the future.
Okay, interesting. And do you think it's a huge win as well for Microsoft, or it's kind of still a loss because they still need more companies to buy out? They did mention
I,
that they were going to buy out more companies.
I mean, I honestly do think it's a huge win. If they use it right, you know what I mean. If they make it if they make exclusives. If not, then it's a waste of a fucking company buyout.
Okay, and I agree.
but
Anything further about that, Zreekmeister?
yeah, I will say this: I can't see how just making a game exclusive to Xbox will help with sales. You know, most fans that I know are loyal to their console already. No matter what gets released, it really won't affect their sales. At least from how I feel and from what I've seen from my personal. I'm an Xbox fan. I honestly wasn't always an Xbox fan, but I kind of got attached to the way they do things. But
Yeah. Well,
I
that's
I mean, I
interesting you say
honestly can't
that
see how being exclusive will help their sales. I'm sure Bethesda's
for
always
their
been
console, right?
multi-console, so huh? I'm sorry.
You mean how will it help their sales for the Xbox console, or
Exactly. I mean, yeah, exactly. For the Xbox consoles and for Bethesda themselves. I mean, obviously the company's making money off selling games. So if they're
yeah?
only strict to one console, they're not going to reach the whole fan base. They're not going to get everybody. But I mean, I don't know. It's kind of that's the whole thing about the situation. That's a little weird. I mean, it would be positive for all Xbox people, but at the same time, how would this be helping how would this be better for the company itself if you're just limiting the amount of consoles you can play the game on? Does that make sense? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And with Microsoft going to Game Pass, and they do look more like they're focused on software than hardware. But regardless, we've seen Series X is selling right now. I don't know if it's mainly because of the pandemic or either way, they still have their fan base, like you mentioned, that are going to buy it
Hmm.
regardless.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a valid point. It's
But
exactly what I'm saying. Pretty much overall.
yeah, I think it would help because it keeps the competitive edge going, and it's always better for the consumer if Microsoft has their own exclusives, Sony has their own exclusives. I mean, I'd
I
like to
agree.
play them all if they're all available on PC. That would be better for all of us, I think. But
Exactly. No,
everyone
I agree.
should
I mean,
be
that's how
able
it's
to
always
play.
been. You know, each console has its exclusives. Every console had its strong points. Over time, I think that whole system just kind of collapsed.
Yeah, and so it will anger Sony fanboys, but I mean, in the past, or Bethesda games running on PS3, I remember there was so many issues where I definitely didn't get them. I'd prefer to get them on PC or 360. I did play Oblivion on PS3, but after that, it was all PC for Bethesda games.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
remember going through that point.
if all these games come on PC, which they are, all Xbox games are coming on PC. I think it would be a big win for Xbox. You know what I mean? More sales on their consoles. There's a lot of hardcore Fallout fans that will buy an Xbox just for it.
I agree. I
Instead of
honestly,
a
I'm the
PC, yeah.
same. If I had a PlayStation and I found it was only exclusive, I would buy. I mean, I've always been an Xbox guy. Kind of after the changes they made with the interfaces and the things they've done on the Xbox Live. Yeah, I mean, I agree.
So
I
you're
would have done the
overall
same.
happy with it.
I'm a really hardcore Fallout fan. Like I'll do anything for that game. You can't beat the.
Exactly.
It's just one of a kind feeling.
I'm a big
I'll do it.
Elder Scroll fan, and I'm telling you, if it doesn't come out for PlayStation, PlayStation is useless to me.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting take. With that said, we're gonna move on to GTA, and we're gonna start from the very core, the very beginning, the original Bird's Eye View games, and that was Grand Theft Auto on PC, and it actually sold 3 million copies and eventually released GTA London, a setting we have not seen so far. But it's really interesting that London, because the original directors are actually from London.
Wait, it's gonna be it's gonna be in London.
No, no, we're talking about the original Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, okay.
When they released the expansion, I think it was a standalone expansion, and that took place in London.
This
But
was the original.
yeah,
What do you call it?
the Bird's Eye View. It had GTA, then it had GTA
No,
London.
I
Have you
didn't
guys
even know
played
that.
any of those games? Have you guys played the original GTA's?
Yeah, I have on PC.
What'd you guys think
I
of that
honestly played
Bird's
the
Eye
original
View?
GTA on Dreamcast. If you remember, I actually played the original GTA on Dreamcast. Actually, no. I'm sorry. I played it on PC, then I played it on Dreamcast at one. If I remember correctly.
Okay, that was probably
Oh,
GTA 2. I'm not sure if it came out on Dreamcast, but I know it came out on PlayStation 1. And GTA 2 sold 2 million copies and featured that character, Claudie Speeds, who eventually made it into GTA 3.
was this the same character?
GTA
Was this
1
the same character
and
from?
London, I'm not sure who the main protagonist was, but GTA 2 and 3 definitely was Claudie Speeds. Now, GTA 2 was already really fun. I remember playing in Bird's Eye View. It was everything you saw in GTA 3 pretty much. So
Isn't GTA 2 Bird's Eye View too? If I don't remember.
no, that's the PS2 title when it first went 3D, and that one sold 14.5 million copies, by the way.
Okay,
On
okay.
GTA 3. Oh man,
Yeah,
I remember
and
GTA 3 on
that's
PlayStation
Sick
2.
ass game.
That game sold. Oh man, that was the. I don't know why. I always thought that was the golden age of games.
Oh, we all did,
PlayStation
bro.
2.
We all did.
That was
definitely
the
the two
golden age. I
on
remember
PS2.
GTA, Metal Gear Solid, Sons of Liberty. That had to be the strongest lineup of launch titles I've ever seen, in my opinion. That's why I think that memory is just so vivid.
Yeah, and it was the
Weren't you guys
first
agree?
time we got to change perspective, and it was a living, breathing world. It was Liberty City. You went on mafia missions. You
Right?
went on missions for the Yakuza. Have any of you guys completed GTA 3?
Oh man, yeah. I can't forget about GTA 3. I'm pretty sure at the end of GTA 3, Uh, there's a lady I can't remember. It's just been so long. It's been a very long.
I never completed it, bro, but I had a lot of fun with it. I would play it for hours, just messing around with the cheats.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
was the funnest
GTA
thing
3
about
was
Grand
one
Theft
hell of
Auto.
a game. I remember Luigi, 8
Wasn't there
Ball,
hookers
these
in
we
that game?
played. I mean that was the game. That was when violence was like when GTA when it first began. I see they changed the evolution of the violence and how they presented it. They kind of dimmed it down after a long time, starting from
What?
GTA 3. Yeah, they
Tripping.
kind of dimmed. I think at Vice City it got a little bit high, like more violence, but over
You
time
got
the way the game
chainsaws,
has
you got
evolved,
limbs coming off now. What are you talking about?
uh,
It's worse
no,
now.
I feel like they focused more on the violence is what I'm insinuating from like
Oh,
GTA
okay.
3,
I think
Vice
they kind
City.
of focus on what's going on at that time period in real life. They kind of
No,
try to
I
recreate it, except with like Vice City, like you mentioned, it's in the '80s, so they kind of had that Scarface tone.
Yeah, Vice City was my
mhm.
favorite, man.
Yeah, same here. That is my favorite. But before I continue with Vice City, I just want to ask you guys. So, Cloudy Speeds never had a voice, and there's some games like
Mhm.
Zelda where the main protagonist doesn't have a voice. Now, they did not explain that till San Andreas, where they're like he's a mute. Do you think they originally had that plan, or they just didn't want to give him a voice and cut that out of
They
the?
didn't have that plan, bro. No way.
Yeah, I
Did
Come on.
agree.
they ever mention?
He never talks. Cloudy
Did they
Speeds
ever
never
mention
talks.
what that was and why you never had a voice?
No, they just so Carl Johnson in San Andreas calls him a mute motherfucker, and then that pretty much gives up that he's just a mute. He doesn't like to, or he doesn't talk.
And I didn't even know that. It's just been so long, like since I played those games. There's a lot of details, minor details that really made those games shine that I honestly forgot. It's just been so long.
Yeah, definitely. And
It's
like
been such
you
a
guys
long
mentioned,
time.
Vice City, so that sold 17.5 million. We're still increasing here, and that featured Tommy Vercetti, who's voiced by Ray Liotta, who was from Goodfellas,
Yeah, he
one of
did
my
an
favorite
amazing job.
movies. Yeah, he did an
I'm
amazing
sorry, what
job.
was
I
that?
think the city was perfect. You could buy out assets, you can earn money, and you progress through a story, a sort of Scarface type of story. They kind of recreated Scarface in there, and then
Yeah,
it featured
they sure did.
characters that were likable.
That's why I use that term evolution of GTA because every time they'd make a GTA, like they'd always upgrade something, in the most unexpected way. You would never like be able to like see what I don't even know how to explain it. They just do an amazing job. But like every time they come out with a GTA, they just add these new things in there, small minor things that can just shift gameplay completely. You see, like from changing
Yes,
from what do you call it, GTA 4 to 5, the evolution and the bank robberies and how the game took a complete shift. It's
definitely.
just
Now,
amazing.
before
I
we
think
move
that's
on to 4 and 5, I want to talk about San Andreas because that was like the biggest upgrade at the time. The
yeah,
city was a lot larger. Like, what was it?
yeah.
Triple the size, and now you were able to fly jets. You were able to like ride bikes, get fat, get skinny, eat. Now that featured
You could
Carl
swim.
Johnson. You could swim, yeah, that's right. We forgot to mention Vice City.
That was
Driver
a big
Three
change.
made fun of it, and then they came
I'm
back
sorry.
and made fun of. But yeah, you're right. You could eat. Really quickly, San Andreas sold 21.5 million copies, so we're still increasing. Yeah. What were you mentioning about San Andreas?
I mean, it's exclusively like the shift. That's why I mentioned the word evolution. It's like they just know how to expand in every single one. They just take it up one notch,
Okay, now
and every single
this
one.
is where I have to disagree with you. But before I call this San Andreas, it's called San Andreas. I just wanted to correct that. But before I move on, Flyinghoe, did you have any experience playing GTA Vice City or San Andreas?
Yeah, there's something you forgot about San Andreas. It's the first game that wasn't exclusive to PS PlayStation, right?
Oh, great
San
point.
Andreas?
Yeah, tell us about it.
No, I'm just saying that I remember playing it on both consoles. It's the first Grand Theft Auto that went to what's
Okay,
it
so
was a
here's
big
what
it was a big
happened.
deal.
Here's what happened, and I'm glad you mentioned this because PS2 Sony had a timed exclusive, and then when that ended, Rockstar Games went to Microsoft and they released a double pack GTA 3 and Vice City, and they were upgraded graphics. They were much better looking. They ran better on Xbox original, and I remember that pissed off Sony fanboys.
It really did.
Yeah, and then San Andreas followed, and it was released on both. It was released on both, right? Correct.
Yeah, that's really what the whole powerhouse behind the GTA games becoming so successful. After they went multi-console, that game just took off. It just skyrocketed. There was no way you can hold a game like that, and for somebody to own an opposite console for so many years and just watch people play that game on PlayStation, and and the critical acclamation that game's gotten, there's no way somebody would not buy that from a different console.
Yeah, and you're right.
So
It
the
did come
sales
out
literally.
on Xbox as well. I
I'm
just had
sorry.
to make sure because I played it on PS2. But you're right.
Yeah,
Once
it's
it
like
went multi-console, then it was in the hands of everyone.
yeah,
Which
the
is
way I see it, and how that game sold on Xbox for like years. Think of it, for like years, all the Xbox fanboys just sitting, outside of the window watching these guys on PlayStation play that game for so long. I remember even some of our friends back in the days. Remember Shamu, after he saw
I remember.
GTA on Xbox,
yeah, and then he
he
got
went
it,
crazy.
and then he bragged like how good looking it was on Xbox. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, anybody imagine that? It's
So
unbelievable.
it's
That's why
like
that game's sales are just unbeatable. You can never touch that.
okay, now remember all that freedom you had in it when we went to next gen, which was PS3, 360, Wii. No, it was never on the Wii. There was always rumors, but anyways, we got GTA. Well, actually, no. Before I get into this topic, I want to talk about it in order. So before that, we got the PSP versions. I'll go back to
Yeah.
GTA 4 in a sec, but we got Liberty City Stories, and that sold 11 million
Yeah.
units. So we saw a decrease in sales. I think it was because not everyone owned a PSP, but
Yeah, PSP was one of those consoles that was like a diamond in the rough. Not many people had it. I remember.
true. And then they also released Vice City Stories, which sold 6 million, and you played as Lance Vance's brother, who actually died in the beginning of GTA Vice City. And he wasn't a douchebag like his brother was, and you could kind of see how much of a douchebag he was in that game. So it was interesting playing those games. And I remember Liberty City Stories had an Arabic radio station, so it was kind of funny playing
Yeah,
driving
it
around
was.
in that. And then, so the next handheld was GTA Chinatown Wars, which sold 1.2 million. You see, now we're decreasing on handhelds. It was released first for DS and then came out later for PSP later that fall. So on DS and then sometime fall of 2009. What I want to mention with this, it went back to bird's eye view. So,
Yeah,
what do you think? What was the reason for this? Was this like a test to see if more people were still interested in the old GTAs and how they played? Or was this just something like a quick cash grab or was this something for Rockstar to say, "Hey, we're finally on Nintendo"?
it could have been, or I think it was just because the console couldn't probably handle it. That's the only reason they would shift to something like that. Especially on when you think of it, a Nintendo game, they could probably dumb down on the violence too.
That's a
From
great point.
far
Maybe it
distance.
couldn't handle it, and then eventually they're like, you know what? We didn't make that much money. Let's also put it on PSP. Great point.
Yeah,
What do you think, Flyinghoe? Would you agree with that?
I mean, I do agree with that. So, like, it's a really weird one. I thought it was just like something they were just trying out, like a separate game, like a side project for like a bunch of other workers that weren't doing anything. Honestly,
Okay, so it could have been a separate team that maybe
yeah, that's what I was
focused on.
thinking.
Yeah, it's possible.
I mean, nobody's going back to bird's eye view for a reason. Shit.
Yeah, and it didn't sell as well. At least not as well as GTA 4. 25 million. Increased from 21.5 million that was San Andreas. And this is where I disagree with you, Zurich, how you were saying every part upgraded. Now, I think you are right, certain aspects upgraded, but this is when they kind of hit the reset button. No more jets. You got a helicopter, but the city wasn't as big as San Andreas, and the freedom wasn't all there.
You're talking about.
Grand Theft Auto 4, it featured Nico Bellic.
Yes, I remember.
played
And
that,
I
right?
think the whole limitation with that, the reason they did that and they didn't expand like they usually would, is because the physics engine they used. This was the first time they implemented the endorphin physics.
Oh,
And I
was
will
that
say that was probably the most
Euphoria or
impressive
something?
physics engine I've seen at the time.
What was the
I'm
name
sorry,
of the
go ahead, what were
engine?
you
Was it
saying?
Euphoria or something?
Yeah, it was Euphoria, but they had a combination of few physics engine at the time. Was it called Euphoria or Endorphin? Hey, I'm sorry, I think you're right, Euphoria. I apologize. I don't know why I put Endorphin. I've
I'm
been
not sure,
studying
but I
too much
remember you showing me it had all this
technology.
badass
I'm sorry.
ragdoll physics, and
Exactly. Is that at the time was probably the most realistic.
you're starting to cut out a
Still
little.
use it even with the new GTA. I'm sorry. Is that better? I apologize.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
Okay, like I was
You're good.
saying, that physics engine was just extremely advanced from every aspect. I'm sure when you guys shifted from GTA San Andreas to GTA 5 or 4, I'm sorry, the physics engine was just astonishing. Even the
Yeah.
ragdoll physics, how your character walks.
You could
That
free aim
that
and shoot now, and
ex-
mods on PC were amazing. They had an
Uh,
online
yeah,
mode.
I'm gonna say
no,
that
you're right.
all out of all the GTA's that I've played them all. I think GTA 4 was the fucking worst. I hated that fucking game with a passion.
Oh, okay.
You serious?
What was it, the story or the
I don't
gameplay?
know what it was. I hated the driving. I hated everything about it.
Yeah, the driving was a little bit tight. I
Driving is what
remember.
threw me off. I'm like, oh no way.
Was it
Okay.
really that bad for you?
I wasn't into it, man. I played it. I remember like most GTA games, I'll jump back on it almost every month. You know what I mean? Play it
Yeah.
nonstop
I was
until the new one
definitely
comes out.
disappointed.
But GTA 4, I played it for a week and never played it again because I was bored of it.
I don't blame you.
See,
I remember being
that
disappointed from the story mode also, that there was this character that seemed like an older version of Tommy Vercetti, so I thought they were kind of continuing that story. But then Rockstar shot it down and said this
mhm.
is a whole new trilogy. That trilogy's over.
I mean, like with GTA, there's something about GTA that brings you back nonstop. It's you can keep playing that game for years and not get bored. GTA 4 wasn't that game.
Okay,
No,
interesting.
I think the only reason that game suffered, I believe, and I honestly can't blame the company because that game's physics were just way too advanced at the time,
I
and I
mean,
think it
I
was a limitation by the
like
console. That's what I think actually caused the limitation for that game. Because I'm telling you, overall, at the time, the type of physics they were using, it was just way too advanced. Those consoles, I don't think were prepared for that. And
I
for them to
mean,
go on and reuse that engine again, and people like just became astonished with what they can do. It was really the console limitation, I believe, that caused them to kind of like compact that game, compress it, and try to squeeze it on a disc. That's guaranteed. There was no other explanation for that. GTA or Rockstar has never failed to produce something that's just
no.
blow
See,
you out the water.
I'm not saying that the game failed. The game did not fail. It got great scores. Everybody loved it. I just didn't.
I
It
Yeah,
wasn't
it's just
Yeah,
GTA.
it's
just your appeal
disappointing.
to you. I understand. Just to
Yeah,
appeal
it
personally
was
to
just
you.
not.
How
It wasn't a GTA game to me anymore. For some reason, it
It
was
was more
different.
I
realistic.
understand. I can see that.
Now
I
it
can
did it
totally
did
see
give
that.
you a player choice. It was the first time in GTA where we saw player choice, whether you kill this character over that character would affect the ending, and we saw multiple endings. So that was the first time they experimented with that, and then they did bring that same feature into GTA 5. Really quick, GTA 5 110 million, and it's still selling. We'll get into why, but really quickly, the game featured three main characters that you could switch back and forth, and it was just altogether epic. Have you guys played GTA 5? I'm sure you have.
We'll play it right now, man. We play it on PC all the time. You should jump on.
Okay, uh, since you guys don't have much to chime on the single player, do you guys play mostly the online?
Yeah, we're on online right now. Like, there's no point of the single player. You finish it. You do all I think there was how many endings? What, 2?
I think there was 3 endings.
Okay, you do the
Yeah,
3
3
endings, you call it a day, then you jump online. Online is something else, man. I sit in the casino gambling all day. That's what I
I
do.
agree. GTA was just I. There's not another game I can love as much as I love the GTA 5.
GTA 5 is
That
great.
game,
It's
oh my
one of
god! I had it on release. The way the bank robberies and the way everything felt, it was
the
literally like
heist.
a movie.
Everything about it was amazing. Everything about it.
Exactly.
Okay, now
It was just increasingly cinematic.
they did cancel the single player DLC because of how successful the online was. Do you think fans are really upset about that, or is it just journalists who don't play GTA Online who really just wanted a story expansion like GTA
Dude.
4 had?
Dude, GTA 5 had one of the best single player I've ever played in the GTA.
Yeah.
It was so amazing. The story was great. It kept dragging you back in. The DLC would have been awesome.
Okay, definitely. Now,
Yeah,
I don't know if you
I
guys are
agree.
aware, online does have the expansions they keep releasing does have story cutscenes.
Yeah, it does.
Only it's with your character. So, do you like that shift, or do you like the shift how it was before?
No, dude, I love the online. I love the online shift. I think they should just keep growing that. But a story mode, the DLC story would have been great too.
Okay, so for GTA 6, now we know there's rumors about that. Here's my thoughts on it. I think it will just be all online. You just connect, you make your character, and maybe he has a voice like a shepherd from Mass Effect, and you go through the story with choices, but you're always connected to this world with other people online. Do you see that happening, or do you think they're gonna go with the classic route of single player and then you connect to this separate online like GTA 5?
And I think they're gonna stick to the roots. It's the bread and butter. Most companies that usually have a lot of success online with their original method, they don't kind of shift from that because you've seen a lot of failures in the past with online changes and major online. You see, once a certain online gets like a cult following, everybody like gets used to it. Any kind of change disgruntles people, and I think they have the perfect amount of fans and like audience for that. I don't think they're gonna make any changes to that.
So if they combine single player and multiplayer into one, you think that's a bad choice and fans won't like that, so they should stick to the original idea?
Will hurt
That's what you're saying?
to come up with different ways. No, I'm just saying like originally what they originally are doing with GTA and what they're doing right now, because there's not a single game online that's gotten more success than GTA 5 in the audience as how much people play it. I mean, people are still playing it till now.
Yeah, they're playing it
I don't
online
think
though. Not many
exactly.
people finish the story. What do you think, Flyinghoe, about what I said? Do you think it's possible for them to shift it GTA 6 to be online with single player elements, or they're gonna still create their nice Red Dead
Uh,
Redemption type of storyline and then have online separately?
I would be
I mean,
really upset if they did that, man. I
if they
honestly,
combined it. Okay, yeah, that's
even
fair.
though you know me, I put online over everything, competitive over everything, but not with GTA. GTA is great, man. The way it is.
Okay, you guys are absolutely right. That's a prediction. I see them doing it, but I would agree that they should stick to the way they've been going, and that's most likely what they're probably going to do.
I just hope to God. I hope to God some of the rumors are real and it's a Vice City like reboot maybe, or
Okay,
something to do with Vice City in the '80s because that music was fire.
it
That
is
music was
rumored that's
amazing.
Vice City, and you're
I
right.
hope that music was like something else, bro. I can cruise all day just listening to that music.
Vice City had the best soundtrack. I
It really
absolutely
did.
agree. So, Zurich, do you think it'll be in Vice City again, like the rumors are saying or claiming?
They could take that shift again. Honestly, with what they did with GTA 5 and that's how far they expanded, you get to go to deserts, you get to go to the middle of the city, you go to the suburbs, and the way they approach everything, I have no doubt in my mind they're going to take us back with newer graphics to Vice City
Will
or
we
somewhere
see?
of that
Will we
nature.
see Tommy
I have
Vercetti
no
again?
doubt. I'm sorry, what was that?
Will we see Tommy Vercetti again?
I don't know about seeing Tommy Vercetti. The GTA in the past hasn't been too fond of bringing old
Not in the
characters back.
past. Yeah,
See, anytime
him
they
as
cut
an
to a new
older.
setting, new story, you don't really see them shift to old characters. They just keep you longing for them. They make you miss them more. because when somebody it kind of like gets to see an old character back, they just lose the feeling of that value to it. You know, they just make you long and just miss these old characters, and you just like they're long forgotten.
Yeah, that is a good point, but I wouldn't dismiss it because we saw Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, it does have the number
Obviously,
2,
see,
and it brings
see,
back John Marston.
I think for Red Dead Redemption, they already had that story planned. The way the stories are knit, and like when you originally played, I remember playing the original Red Dead Redemption on Xbox, or on Xbox 360. I'm sorry. And then when I thought about like how the game played out and how everything was, and they talk about the gang, and they keep mentioning the gang. I'm sorry, and they mention and all these guys. There was no doubt in my mind they're gonna make another sequel or a prequel that was gonna basically show you how all that unfolded. There's just way too much history for them not to, you know, too many things they talk about and mention about the gang for them not to, like, you know, later on do something that, you know, brings it into the story, brings it to life pretty much.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So how do they go about doing this? Like GTA 5 online is so successful, they don't need to make any more GTA games. How do they move everyone over from GTA 5 online to GTA 6 online?
One more time, what was that question? I apologize.
How do they move everyone over from GTA 5 online to GTA 6 online? Like, here's an example. So, Modern Warfare had Battle Royale, and basically the new Black Ops Cold War just took Modern Warfare's Warzone and kept it into the game like that. They didn't build a new Battle Royale. So, how do you see Rockstar
Simple.
doing this?
Really simple if you think about it. They just transfer characters. Simple. Done.
And do they keep the old city, or do they...
No, you transfer your character over, like a lot of games.
Yeah, I can kind of see that happening.
That's a smart move,
I
actually.
doubt they're going to do that because they need to make money, of course, you know. But that's the way to do it. No matter what happens, everybody's moving to the new GTA regardless.
Yeah, but I think you're right. If they transfer your character over, that would be amazing. Everyone would still be dedicated to that character. They add new assets, new things you can buy, new missions online. Okay, yeah. Anything else to add about that, Zreek or Flyinghoe, before we move on to the next?
Nope.
Okay, now there's 2 DLCs I didn't mention that were for GTA 4, and they were timed exclusives from Microsoft, and they paid tons of money for that, if you guys remember, to have, what was it called? The Lost and the Damned and Ballad of Gay Tony.
Oh man, I remember that, yeah. Can't forget Lost in the Damned.
Yeah, now
they did.
They
that was
like
on PSP though, right?
Yeah,
that was on PSP.
No, 360. They were exclusive, and they were timed exclusive. They eventually came out to PS3. Now, was that a smart move for Microsoft to do that? And do you see that happening in GTA 6? Is Sony or Microsoft gonna try and snag some, Sony only exclusive DLC or Microsoft only episodes? What do you think will happen for GTA 6?
I doubt they're gonna go back to that. You know, it's been a long time since they released. What year did they release the what do you call it? That DLC at the time. I remember it was the biker one. I just can't pinpoint. I don't know if I got pretty amnesia over these years or what it is, but I do remember it clearly, and I beat it too. But
well, Zariq, they had it exclusive for a whole year, and they paid something $500,000 for it, if I remember correctly. Now, you know they're gonna be gunning for people to get GTA 6 on their platform. Sony already has been doing it for like all these other, like Call of Duty, for example. They've been buying DLC exclusive for 1 year. I see Sony doing it again and trying to get that exclusive for GTA, but I also see Microsoft trying to battle with Sony.
I don't think Sony has enough money to convince Rockstar to keep it on one console. They don't got enough money, dude.
So you think Microsoft will snag that exclusive?
I don't even think Microsoft would do it. I don't think Rockstar would want to lose that much money. You know how much money they make from their online currency?
Well, no, they're not losing money. They're gaining money by having, let's say, Sony pay $1 million for exclusive DLC.
Talking about exclusive DLCs.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't think Rockstar will go back to that. Honestly.
Okay. I hope not, but if I see someone doing it in the present day we're in now, I think it will be Sony. Now,
Oh yeah, for sure. They're scumbags.
yeah. Now, Microsoft did it back then, I mean, so
Microsoft does it too.
it's just competitive game here.
I hate that. I hate when they do that stuff.
Yeah, same here. Okay, so we're almost reaching the end of the podcast here. I want to ask you guys, what do you think, if not GTA 6 or even after, what is Rockstar's next game? I'll name a few. There's of their properties. There's Manhunt. There's Midnight Club. There's Warriors. There's Bully. There's Max Payne. So what do you guys think? What will it be?
I think it's gonna be Midnight Club. Honestly.
You nailed it. That's what I think.
They revamped Midnight Club. I don't know. I think they really ran out of juice on Midnight Club. I don't think they'd be successful.
I think in order to make Midnight Club good, they gotta make it more realistic racer. Scrap out the arcade, make it something like Forza.
Well, they just bought out Codemasters. It's possible Take-Two assigned them to make a Midnight Club game. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I'm with you though, Flyinghoe. I think the next game from Rockstar's Midnight Club, besides the rumored remake for Red Dead Redemption 1.
Oh, okay.
But
That's a remake of Midnight Club.
Hell no, they better not. They better make a new part with a new city.
Sure.
But Zerikmeister, you disagreed. What do you think they're working on, if not Midnight Club, and after or before GTA 6?
I see them coming out with a new IP really soon. I think
Brand new IP? You know, Bully was rumored too.
I heard Bully. They made a remake to Bully at one point.
Yeah, but it was garbage.
If I remember correctly.
I love Bully, but it was the same game, dude. It didn't look any different.
Yeah, I tried to play. I couldn't get through it. I didn't like Bully.
I loved Bully, dude. It was really fun.
Yeah, it had some cool elements, but I got bored right away. It was like basically GTA in a school.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, dude.
So, Zarik, you said you think they're gonna make a new IP. They're not gonna bring back
Come
any
up
old
with a new-
franchises.
Yeah, I think they're gonna come out with something new outside of GTA. Of course, GTA. They can't come out with a new console or anything without having GTA. It's like,
Yeah.
it's
Oh
not
my god, I
possible.
can't believe we forgot about this game. They need to make a new LA Noire ASAP. I gotta play that shit.
That's why I
Okay.
told you, Eleanor. Like anything Rockstar makes is always just fucking
Manhunt game.
You
Oh
know,
my
it's out
god.
of the
Oh
ballpark.
my god, Manhunt.
I don't
would
see
be
any
amazing.
kind of Manhunt because see, back in the days, that's why I told you. Back on the PlayStation 2, like there wasn't games that were violent like that. They always
Like that,
took the violence like another notch. It honestly
I
hurt
wouldn't
a lot
see
of
them.
games sales. The only way a game that will sell very well is to have mild violence. You know, just what's needed. Anything excessive really just hurts the game's sales at the time.
There's a game
I
that
think-
Rockstar created. It was called Ani. I don't know if you guys remember
remember
that game, but
Yeah, with
that game
Bungie.
was sick.
Yep, it was the Japanese, what do you call it?
Yep.
Japanese style
I
anime
think it
shooter, like.
Like a girl on the picture or something with
I
purple.
played it. It was made by Bungie. I think Rockstar
Oh,
just
really?
published it. Yeah. We'll have to
Yeah, I remember
double-check
that game.
though.
It was a launch title for PlayStation 2 at the time.
Yeah, it was. Okay, so
I remember. I'm pretty sure it was a launch title.
Possibly. It did have a blue disc at the bottom, which were...
Yeah, I'm reading it right now. Developers were Bungie and Rockstar.
Okay, so they co-developed it. That sounds amazing. It would be nice to see that come back, but I don't think that will happen nowadays. But,
Nah,
So, Flyinghoe mentioned LA Noire. Is that your top pick for what you would want Rockstar to be working on after GTA 6?
I would take that over every single game, any day, other than GTA.
You really liked LA Noire, huh?
Oh, dude, I played it
Oh, I
in VR.
love
I
LA
played
Noire.
the remake. I played the old one. I beat them all. I fucking loved it.
Yeah, I beat it. I enjoyed it. Okay, so your pick's LA Noire. Zerikmeister, if there's a franchise that you want Rockstar to make, that they already made before to come back, maybe Max Payne 4, maybe Warriors 2,
Oh, Max Payne.
What
You
would be
said
your
it.
number
You
one?
Max
took
Payne,
that
I
out
was
of me.
disappointed with Max Payne 3, though. I don't want another Max Payne after that one.
I mean, who knows? You know, the Rockstar, I will say, is just like spontaneous with what they make. The games they make, everything is just always spontaneous. I mean, who would have known they would have came out with a ping pong game when that on Xbox back then? Remember that ping pong game? What was it called? Table tennis.
Table tennis, yep.
And that game was fun. They turned a freaking ping pong game into a digital game, and they made it fun. I mean, and anything Rockstar makes, I'm looking forward to. But
So-
my person, what I honestly am looking forward to is, I can't disagree with Flyinghoe. Like LA, what's it called? What's the game called again? I'm sorry.
Eleanor?
Yeah, Eleanor was just one of my favorite games, hands down. But the way the detective work, questioning, that game was just amazing. On top of that, the like Max Payne, if they came out with a new Max, so I think they kind of drained Max Payne. I don't think they're gonna come out with another one. I think that pretty much nailed the coffin.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. I don't see how
want
they can
another Max
expand on it.
Payne. I would pick Max Payne 4.
Oh.
So, Zarik, you would pick Eleanor over Max Payne?
No, I honestly think on par. I would be on par with both of them. I honestly like both of them. Each one in its
Yeah.
own right is just amazing.
If
For it to be
Rockstar
action
told you,
sequels.
decide now, what do you want us to make? Which one are you going to tell them?
Say, I mean, they couldn't go wrong with another. What do you call it? Eleanor? They
Okay.
couldn't go wrong with that.
So 2-1, you guys pick Eleanor. Well, honestly, yeah, I would like to see Max Payne 4, but they announced one time a Sony exclusive called Agent. I would have liked to see how that
I
played.
heard it. The online game. I thought that game came
No,
out and
not the
flopped.
online game. That was a different company. This was Rockstar's Agent. It looked like Eleanor. But I
I
would
can't
have
remember.
liked to
It's
see
so
what that
familiar.
played like. There are leaked screenshots. So yeah, I guess that ends the conversation about Rockstar and GTA in general. We're all looking forward to it. Anything else you guys want to add
Mhm.
before we wrap up?
That was pretty much it.
Yeah, you were talking about a
Pretty
game
much.
called Agent. Wasn't it supposed to be like for PS3 or something? I remember seeing it on E3 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's exclusive. It's
They canceled it or
exclusive
something?
See, Zurich was talking about a game called Agent that was online. That was like I think sort of like a first-person MMO, which was separate from Rockstar's announced exclusive. Rockstar. So Sony came on stage. They're like, Agent is coming, exclusive to Sony, exclusive to PS3, and then every year they were asked about it. Where's Agent? What's Rockstar doing? I mean, in fact, if you go on Rockstar's website right now, they still say they're working on Agent for PS3. They have not updated that website. But Sony at the end finally was like, you want to know where Agent is? Go ask Rockstar. So they finally, I think they let go of the name, the copyright name. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's not happening. But yeah, those are two
They
separate
canceled it,
agents.
right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it got canceled. They never officially announced that it got canceled. But come on, we're on PS5.
I do, man. You never know what Rockstar does.
I don't see it coming back on next generation consoles or now this generation, but like you said, you never know what Rockstar does.
Yeah, I will tell you that much. And whatever they do, always surprises. So I can't say it any other way.
Definitely. Okay, let's wrap up here. Before we close up, I wanted to mention we're going to do a live stream of the next gen consoles, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X. We're going to sit down a few people in the
Looking
same
forward.
room. What was that?
I said I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait
Oh,
for
yeah.
that, honestly.
Yeah, you're definitely welcome to join us, Zarik. You'll get the Xbox
For sure.
perspective, the Xbox fanboy Zarik here. You'll get my fanboyism of Sony's platform. I've been playing PS5 and loving it.
Yeah,
and then
fanboy anymore.
you'll get Flyinghoe, who's in between. He's the PC guy with also Zexy Haas. So it'll be an interesting conversation.
Sure.
Anything to
Gonna
add,
be-
Flyinghoe?
No, we got to do another rematch, me and Zarik. So
So,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
I'm looking forward to that
That
out of
is
everything.
still
I mean, I'll put up a good fight.
So
that's something we still got to do.
yeah, I gotta
For
explain
sure.
this. Your episode is not coming out this Monday. It's coming out next Monday. So hopefully that'll hype it up, and then we'll definitely do another one. But I'd rather do it when we got also Bassam and Zexy Haas in the same room.
Let's do it. Yeah.
So by like March is all the episodes will be out for right now the Smash Brothers tournament that's going on the channel. So yeah, look
Yep.
forward to that. You guys will battle duke it out again.
Perfect. Perfect.
I can't wait, man. Flyinghoe is always some good competition.
Yeah, you're always some good competition to me. You're always scary to fight against, Ringmeister.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate it, man.
they
Well,
would
it's always
see
my
our
pleasure,
battle.
man. I love that.
Our battle is so close, and the guy couldn't call it.
Yeah.
I want to thank Robin for voice acting it. And as he's
Yeah,
as
you
he's
did an
calling the
amazing job.
battle,
I saw that.
yeah, you should wait till you see our battle. He's trying to call it, and he's not sure. He thought I was doomed, and then he thought you were doomed. And it's a really good fight. It's really intense. But yeah, okay, let's wrap it up here.
Can't wait
Thanks
to
for
do
joining
it.
us,
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Yeah, definitely
Thank you for bringing us this.
subscribe for more, and look forward to our live podcast stream. It will be the first time we go live on a podcast. But yeah,
You got it.
thanks for
For
watching.
sure. Looking forward. Thank you.
Thank you
for having us.
joining, Zarik, and
You guys have a good night.
also Flyinghoe.
Sure,
Take care.
Yes, sir. See you guys later.
sure, brother.
You're right. They are always mostly violent. But you're right. Why they haven't tried a first-person game, Rockstar, have they?
I don't think so. I don't think ever, bro.
Yeah, State of Emergency was really violent. You're right about that shit you were talking about, where you wouldn't see that type of game nowadays. It would cause too much havoc in the media.
Yeah. You're exactly. That's exactly why, and it hurts the game sales. Dude. There's a reason they don't do that, man. It hurts the game sales badly because you can't play it. You know, you got to limit who can play it.
Did you
It
play
limits the sales drastically.
Al and Hoots? Did you guys play the new Modern Warfare campaign?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
I did.
Bro, the first fucking episode, the first fucking mission, there was terrorists in London shooting all the fucking citizens. Like that wasn't.
Yeah, I know, but
that
that's
was like
a war
scary,
game,
bro.
That's a war game.
That was a scary ass fucking
Yeah,
like goddamn.
I think that's different because you're watching it instead of doing it.
Exactly, you're right. No, he's right.
Yeah, it's not like the one that Call of Duty mission where you're shooting people in the airport.
Yeah, well, that got so much controversy, bro. I remember that shit. That shit got a lot of controversy about that.
Yeah, the No Russia. But it was a choice. You still didn't have to shoot. That's the one you guys are talking about, right?
Yeah, I remember that. Hey, so much people talked about that. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait, so in state of emergency, are you the terrorist?
No, instead of emergency, you're a rider.
Oh, and you're just killing people?
You're looting.
Yeah, that's
you're
what it was.
You're shooting everything.
Yeah. What the fuck?
But that was
You could
from
be considered
Hausers. You know that was. You can tell that's when the Hausers first came from Russia, bro. And they're just making crazy, violent Russian games. Bro, you know what I'm saying?
And they actually
They
made a
evolved
sequel
over time.
too. Did you know there's
Huh?
a State of Emergency Part 2?
I don't even know.
I know. I remember part 2.
Yeah, that didn't need a sequel. It wasn't all that. It was fun for the time. But it was basically GTA in a mall with no cars.
That was literally
Exactly.
what it was.
Yeah.
That's why I said clone. Like, they all look
Yeah,
EA games.
true.
State of Emergency 2 looks so much better than 1. It has graphics.
Yeah, I remember, bro. I remember I had both of them. I ended up getting both of them at the time.
I think I rented them from Blockbuster.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I got them from Blockbuster at the time. I don't remember. Well, it's been so long. Yeah, I didn't even. I couldn't even remember that game. I don't know how the fuck you guys remember State of Emergency.
I didn't. Who brought it up? L? Big P did.
Looking at it right now, the Warriors was a Rockstar game. And we still got to finish.
Yeah, Warriors. I forgot about that.
Oh, did you? Oh, man, we got to finish that. Bro, we can play right now on my PC with Parsec. With Parsec. You know what's crazy about Parsec? I'm playing FIFA, the new FIFA and the new Madden with the guys, and they don't even have the game. They joined my computer. So with any game, you don't need the game. Only one person needs it. You can actually link your computer to my computer. It's pretty. Yeah, it's fucking amazing. Like I'm playing. We could have done that with Battletoads. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I want to play the Warriors again, but that's the only game I didn't fully beat.
Yeah,
Or did we beat it?
I don't know, but me
I did beat it.
and who's got to finish that? Release Freedom
I'm
Fighters
pretty sure I think I beat it.
on Steam right now.
Oh.
It's pretty cool.
Freedom
Epic
Fighters,
Games.
I remember that game.
It's on
That was
Epic
a
Games
Rockstar
right now.
game too. Oh, I remember